The year 2020 is coming to a close, and I think it's a good time to talk about games that weren't that successful or were just straight up crap. It was difficult to come up with this list because there are a lot more than 10 bad games published this year, so in today's video we have the top 10 worst games of 2020, and without further ado, hello guys, my name is Hepodix, and let's start the video. At number 10 spot we have 13 Remake, that was released for PC, PS4, Xbox One and Amazon Luna in November 10th, 2020, and it's coming for Switch in 2021. First, I want to say that I have a huge nostalgia for the original 13 that was released back in 2003, and I was really disappointed to see how terrible the outcome of the remake was. The Metacritic score for all of the versions are also pretty low, ranging from 32 to 39. I really like the cel-shaded cartoony art style and execution of the original 13, and it was honestly pretty unique approach to the first-person shooter genre, mixed with some stealth elements put into it, but the remake is just a blunder nonetheless, especially with the current price of $40. 13 got a lot of negative reception by players and press, with criticism going towards the remake's unnecessary changes to the art style, weapon limit, and a ton of technical and audio issues. There was a joint apology statement from the developer Playmagic and publisher Microids saying that the COVID-19 pandemic had a huge impact on the outcome, and if this is really the case, why they didn't delay this game further instead of publishing a half-baked cookie. The original 13 from 2003 ended up outselling the remake in the first week of the remake's release date, and the original 13 is still great even to this day, so stay away from this horrible remake and buy the original if this piqued your interest.
So exactly who are you? And why are you in my house?
For number 9 spot, we have Goosebumps Dead of Night, that was released on June 19th, 2020 and is available for PC, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. I never was a huge fan of the Goosebumps series, but that doesn't mean I have the rights to say something is bad because of that. However, this game is not that great, especially with a price tag of $34, it caused many fans of the franchise very disappointed. The only positive I can get from this game is that it has Jack Black voicing R.L. Stine and there are characters from the Goosebumps universe, but that's pretty much it. On the other hand, the game is quite short, gameplay is very mediocre, the horror bits can be more cheesy than scary, and if you are a fan of the books or the television series, the overall experience of Dead of Night feels lackluster. It seems to me that the developer Cosmic Forces just wanted to cash in on the popular Goosebumps franchise by releasing this game, and apparently it is a mobile port with some additions put in, which can be seen in the outcome. At number 8 spot, let's talk about Speed 3 Grand Prix, a Formula 1 game that was released on November 10th, 2020 for PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. With the price tag of $30, it definitely has some issues. The gameplay is fine, but overall it feels like a shovelware experience. Speed 3 has a very arcade-like gameplay feel, which is okay, but the game's main selling point, which is quote-unquote explosive and high-speed arcade track racing for everyone, takes this game into a weird direction in my opinion. Perhaps it was intended to be a spin-off to the regular Formula 1 simulation driving games, as you can crash to other F1 cars and cause mayhem, but I don't know, the overall execution isn't that great in my opinion for the $30 price tag. The YouTuber Switch Corner has more in-depth review of this game, which does this segment more justice than I can do, so check out that video in the description if you are more interested about this game. Let's take a look at number 7 spot, as we have Quaden, Azuma Manor story that is available for PC, Switch and PS4 and was released in January 31st, 2020. I don't want to be too harsh on this one because it is totally made by one person, Gudowan, but the price tag of $21 is still something I cannot accept from this game. If this game costed a maximum of $5, it would have avoided completely my radar and this list, but $21? Damn. The graphics look like it's a game released within the early PS2 era, and it gives me the vibes of those older horror games released in that time period. It was designed with the tank controls in mind, as the movement feels sluggish, and with the addition of fixed camera angles on certain areas and point-and-click system when using items and interacting with things like doors, feels very outdated. However, it has some good things going on, like the historical Japanese theme around it, but overall, I just cannot justify the game's price when you can finish this game in about 2 hours. For number 6 spot, let's take a look at Grey Skies, a War of the Worlds story, developed by Steel Arts Software, that was released in November 5th, 2020 for PC, PS4 and Xbox One. It's a stealth-based, single-player game based on the work of H.G. Wells, where you explore the English country and it throws you right into the middle of the Martian invasion. You play as the Harper, as a lot of the gameplay mechanics involve sneaking and crafting stuff, but it hasn't been executed well at all. Your goal is to survive within the hostile world, which is now inhabited by people who have been controlled by the aliens. The storytelling and lore of Grey Skies seems promising at start, but the gameplay itself is what kills it, as the stealth sections can be frustrating and the AI of the enemies is very inconsistent too. I would give this game a pass if it costed a few bucks or something, but for $15, Grey Skies, a War of the Worlds story is something I recommend you to avoid, and it therefore takes the 6th spot in this list. At number 5 spot, we have Fast and Furious Crossroads, developed by Slightly Mad Studios, that was released on August 7th, 2020, and is available for PC, PS4 and Xbox One. FNF Crossroads is a hybrid between racing and action role-playing genres that's based on the Fast and Furious movies. But it looks like it's another short game with very simple execution, and with the price tag of $50 on the regular edition and $80 for the deluxe edition, it's a shameless sellout cashing in for a popular franchise. Yikes. The game has dreadful controls, a lack of speedometer for some reason, and the missions in the storyline seems to be a pretty much copy-paste with different environments, and that's pretty much it. Ugh. Also, the online has been said to be crap, and for those reasons mentioned here, Fast and Furious Crossroads is a letdown for the fans of the series, as well as for those who like the racing genre as a whole. For number 4 spot, let's talk about a game that was released in November 12th, Handball 21, made by Echo Software, that is available for PC, PS4 and Xbox One. I can appreciate the devs for trying to implement a sport game that isn't the most mainstream like, let's say, football is, but execution overall is pretty mixed, and paying $40 for this is not justified by any means. According to the critics and fans, Handball 21 isn't that close to being realistic to its real-life counterpart, which is the main flaw, and the controls are awkward, and it's really a shame because it's a very tactical sport type, but executing that into a video game format seems to be pretty difficult, and due to its high pricing, Handball 21 takes the 4th spot in this list. Moving to number 3 spot, we have Tiny Racer for the Nintendo Switch and Android that was released in July 31st, 2020. Facepalm is the best word I can describe this $10 game, and at least it's the cheapest game in this list, but the gameplay is crappy at best. Tiny Racer is an uninspired circuit racer with a physics system that is totally terrible when you bounce to other racing cars, and it's just a disgrace to other good racing games that's available in the market like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I just don't understand how Nintendo even approves a game like this to be sold on their eShop. That's just weird, man. It has multiplayer option available if you want to laugh over with your friends, but other than that, I just cannot recommend this game to anyone, and thus it more than deserves the 3rd spot in this list. At number 2 spot, we have Warcraft 3 Reforged, or better known as Warcraft 3 Refunded, due to its horrible remaster execution that was released in January 28th, 2020 and is available for PC and Mac. It has received the worst user score in Metacritic of all time, and for a good reason. There were a lot of promises to this game, but they were lacking upon release, and the response was overwhelmingly negative. Refunded is plagued by bugs, and a lack of features and design choices are terrible, such as the quote-unquote massive user interface. Also, the graphical changes were not improved enough and in some cases looked even worse. And Blizzard even successfully ruined the original Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos, as players were forced to update to a newer version, meaning that many of the gameplay changes to Refunded were pushed into the original release too. Unbelievable. Blizzard has mentioned that they were offering refunds and updates to the game, but the damage had been already done and not too many seems to give a crap anymore. And by the way, the game costed at launch between $30 to $40 between the regular and special editions, but this is a good example of a game that's been rushed to the market with little to no care. I hope your shareholders and investors are happy, I really do.
It's too late. These players have all pre-ordered the game. They may look fine now, but it's a matter of time before they ask for a refund.
Inside, here's McGee.
Okay, let's move on to the first spot of the worst 2020 games, as we have NBA 2K21, that was released between September to November for all of the monetizable platforms available, of course. As a quick side mention, I wanted to mention Madden NFL 21 made by EA Tiburon, that was also bad due to its very mediocre execution overall. Okay, back to NBA 2K21. First of all, the pricing. It's $60 flat, and Mamba Forever Edition is $100, while the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions are $70. And that's not even all, because this game has been pumped with everyone's favorite microtransactions, or as some idiots tries to defend this type of monetization model and call them surprise mechanics. Wow. It's understandable for free-to-play games like League of Legends that in order to stay healthy, there are cosmetics like skins you can buy to support their company, but paying $60 to $100 and then add microtransactions is just outrageous to me. And the sad thing is that these devs like 2K and EA focuses on these microtransactions instead of prioritizing the actual gameplay, which is adding salt to the injury. I honestly feel sad for all of the basketball players and fans, because NBA 2K21 is pretty much the same game as NBA 2K20 is, and apparently there are still some flaws present as there were in the previous installments, so I gotta be honest, I am lost for words. But before I get totally triggered by all of this, I'll just link a review from IGN to this game in the video description below, so you can scoop up all the crappy details yourself. And now I gotta calm myself down before I honestly explode.
Free throw good from Bradley.
I mean, and that 6'3" Bradley is a plus defender thanks to his quickness and tenacity.
Whew. Okay, so that concludes the top 10 worst games of 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like this video as it helps me to grow, and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more great gaming related top 10 videos to come. Let me know in the comments what do you think is the worst 2020 game, and with all that said, thanks for watching, my name is Hepodix and have a nice day.